Do you know how many times you've been to a protest for Gaza?
Maybe 5 or 6 times.
Very difficult for them to even criticize Israel or Netanyahu. Do they even have the freedom to do that? What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's $1 million question.
I think they're
More-
stupid. Stupid.
It's difficult to accuse Israel. There's too much support for Israel without thinking.
I think governments are scared to put themselves forward.
I think they are scared
From what?
for the VS.
I think our politicians are a bit weak.
Free!
Free Palestine!
يا اهلا وسهلا حبايبي، ان شاء الله تكونوا كلكم بخير وصحه وسلامه وعافيه، وحياكم الله في فيديو جديد من لاهاي هولندا. اليوم وللمرة الثانية تقام مظاهرة رسم الخط الأحمر في وسط مدينة لاهاي في هولندا بحضور أكثر من 100,000 شخص، وللمرة الثانية في وسط لاهاي. الناس جايين هنا من مختلف مناطق ومدن هولندا للمشاركة في هذه المظاهرة وارتداء الملابس والألوان الحمراء من أجل رسم خط أحمر للحكومة الهولندية بإنهاء تعاونها وصمتها وتغاضيها عن الجرائم والإبادة التي ترتكبها الحكومة الإسرائيلية في قطاع غزة، ومن أجل إنهاء الحصار على قطاع غزة. فأنا موجود اليوم في هذه المظاهرة وفي هذا المكان، وبنطرح موضوع وسؤال حساس جدا. هذو الناس وهذه الشعوب الهولندية والأوروبية تخرج في هذه المظاهرة من بداية الأحداث بشكل شبه أسبوعي، ولديها كامل الحرية أنها تنتقد إسرائيل وتطلق عليها لقب الدولة الإرهابية، وتنتقد نتنياهو وتطلق عليه لقب مجرم حرب، كما هو بالفعل مجرم حرب مطلوب من محكمة الجنايات الدولية. لكن السؤال، هل حكوماتهم الحكومة الهولندية والحكومات الأوروبية والوزراء وأعضاء الحكومة لديهم نفس هذه الحرية في انتقاد إسرائيل ونتنياهو، أو أنهم مقيدين؟ ولماذا يبدو الأمر أنه من الصعب جدا لدى هذه الحكومات وأعضائها أن ينتقدوا إسرائيل ونتنياهو؟ هذا السؤال اللي بنطرحه الآن على هذو المظاهرين اللي جاءوا هنا من كل مناطق هولندا ومن عدة أماكن. بنشوف الإجابات اللي يقولوها. خليكم معنا يا جماعة، اعطونا لايك واشتركوا في القناة. يلا بسم الله، خلينا نبدأ. Hi,
Hi.
how are you doing?
I'm doing good, thank you.
Can you tell me your name and where are you from?
Yitske, I'm from Amsterdam.
My name is Reese and I'm from the Netherlands.
My name's Kai and I'm from Australia and the Netherlands. I live in the Netherlands now.
I'm Julia, I live in Delft.
You're from the Netherlands.
I'm British, but I live here now.
I'm Roos from Arnhem.
My name is Rosemary from Arnhem as well.
You came all the way from Arnhem.
Yes.
I am Teun and I'm from the Netherlands. Daan, also from the Netherlands.
Teerse, also from the Netherlands. My name is Carmen, I'm from the Netherlands.
From Blarikum in Holland.
Okay.
I'm also.
Okay. So, do you know how many times you already been to protests for Gaza?
3 times. This is the third time.
Oh, for me the second time.
Also in Amsterdam.
Oh yes, also in Amsterdam and also 3 times.
Last year.
Better memory, yeah? Do you know how many times you already been to protest for Gaza?
Multiple times online and also physically.
Oh, like 20 maybe? More? I don't know. Actually, I haven't counted, but they've been all different, like at universities, just cities, national ones. Plenty, I don't know.
This is my first.
Your first?
Yeah.
Okay. How does it feel? Why did you come then if it's your first? Like, what made you come here today?
I saw the publicity over the first march and I saw it after the march and I didn't know it was happening. So I felt a little bit like, I should have been there, because I'm not happy with what's happening and I wanted to add my small voice to the crowd.
It's a nice atmosphere as well, right?
It's a great atmosphere, yeah.
Do you know how many times you've been to a protest for Gaza?
Maybe 5 or 6 times.
This is the first time.
Same for me, yes.
First time.
Yes.
What made you come today?
The urge that there has to change something because I'm very worried and angry.
Yes, that and the frustration about that. Yeah.
Do you know how many times you already been to a protest for Gaza?
Yeah, actually every time on the Dam Square in Amsterdam. I live there, so each Sunday there is a protest.
So multiple times.
Yeah.
So clearly you go to protest for Gaza and ask for a free Palestine, and you criticize Netanyahu and Israel and call him a war criminal as he is wanted by the ICC, right? But the question here is, do you think that your government, Dutch government officials, Western EU government officials also have the same freedom to criticize Israel and Netanyahu? Why does it seem for so many people that is so hard and so difficult for them to even criticize Israel and Netanyahu? Do they even have the freedom to do that? What do you think?
They don't have the courage to do it. They have the freedom to do it, but they don't have the courage to do it. There's a big spider web underneath, and they are attached to, all the other big powers that are governing the world. So it's very sad.
You think they are scared to lose
I think they're
more?
stupid. Stupid.
Do you think that your government, Dutch government officials, EU, Western government officials have the same freedom to criticize Israel and Netanyahu and call him a war criminal, or they can't even do that? Why it seems that is really difficult for them to even criticize Israel and Netanyahu, or they didn't even have the freedom to do that? What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, they have the freedom because other countries are doing it, like South Africa and Ireland also joined the case. Spain, so clearly they could. I don't know why the Netherlands doesn't do it. I mean, I guess they're too invested in money flows and investments, weapons sales, stuff like that. So maybe there's other things also at play, but I don't know. I mean, I think they should do something about it.
I think the general population, people in the general population do have a hunch, but in the end, money.
It's a war business, you mean?
Yes, that is my personal opinion. Yes.
I think religion in Holland is also a factor that it's difficult to accuse Israel. There's too much support for Israel without thinking what's going on there.
Can you elaborate in this in Dutch? Mag Nederlands praten.
In Nederland heb je natuurlijk heel veel christelijke partijen, ook nog de kerken, die altijd het idee hebben dat Nederland achter Israël moet staan. Nog uit het idee vanuit de Bijbel. Hè? Omdat ze in de Bijbel geloven en alles wat daarin staat. En dat is denk ik wel de reden dat heel veel partijen nu nog steeds niet durven te zeggen van nou, dit gaat veel te ver wat er nu allemaal gebeurt.
Ja, ik kan me daar alleen maar bij aansluiten. Ik vind het onbegrijpelijk dat je als christen zo achter Israël blijft staan. Dat je het niet veroordeelt wat zij nu doen. Dat ze een volk gewoon proberen uit te moorden. Zo van, nou ja, dan maar de zee in of zo. Ik vind het echt verschrikkelijk.
Why do you think it seems for Western government officials, Dutch, Australian government officials, very difficult for them to even criticize Israel or Netanyahu? Do they even have the freedom to do that? What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's a $1 million question. I mean, you mentioned we come here to criticize Israel, and I'm not here to criticize Israel. I'm here to criticize the Israeli regime and Netanyahu and those who are making the decisions. I think there are a lot of Israeli people who are not happy with what's happening, but regardless, the bottom line is the outcome, which is horrendous, and the Israeli government is responsible for that. And I think, to answer your question as best as I can, I think governments are scared to put themselves forward because...
Scared from what?
Scared because of their relationships, their allegiances, their trade agreements, and also protection in future conflicts. Australia is backed by the US, kind of. We see with Trump, we even have doubts about that at the moment. So there's a relationship with the US that's stretched for many, many, many years. And so I think many Australians are absolutely devastated by what's happening, but they don't want to step forward because the government doesn't want to step forward because then it makes too strong a statement, and then maybe there are flow-on impacts. And then governments are also scared. Because what if the Netherlands, if Australia gets attacked, for example, we rely heavily on the US government. Exactly. So there's fear. There is fear, but just the government doesn't necessarily represent the people.
That's a very good point. What you say that they are scared if they criticize Israel that will affect the relationship with Israel with the US.
Yeah, absolutely. And in that way, the US has, in my opinion, far too much influence over what's happening over there, far too much. And Biden, I was happy with a lot of things he did, but he was far too complicit and far too soft on this, and that was his biggest downfall, I think. And Trump is 10 times worse, but I think Biden fell short there in setting the wrong path.
I think probably economic reasons, but also the historical ties to Israel make it very hard. But I think it's all ultimately a personal responsibility, so it's a personal choice. So it's not an excuse.
I think they are scared.
From what?
Yes, I don't know.
Yeah, and they're egocentric
Yeah.
and scared, and actually I don't think they know what to do.
I don't know. I think there are a lot of political officials who do speak up, but I don't think there's enough action that is being taken. They can do more. They choose not to. Why? I can only guess. To me, it's clear that it's a genocide and action has to be taken. So they should do more, and that's why we're here.
What do you think?
I think our politicians are a bit weak, and I know it's difficult because, of course, we have in Europe a certain history with Jewish people and Israel. But if you can just keep on looking away from this, then it's insane. Yeah, it's insane.
It'll get worse and worse.
Sorry?
It will get worse and worse, and you will be more complicit and complicit.
Yeah, I think if you can just look at all these images and not draw any conclusions from that, then something's going wrong. But I think it all has to do with power and money. In the end, they are afraid. They are afraid that because they are supported by the U.S., of course, and yeah, I think they're just weak. Yeah.
You don't want to make the US angry, you say?
No, they just want to keep the people with power as friends.
Anything to add?
Yeah, I think it's just capitalism showing its face in a really ugly way. Yeah.
I think a very important distinction has to be made that it's not about anti-Semitism. I think the religion should be taken out of this. It's Zionism, and Israel likes to and our government as well, likes to throw around the word anti-Semitism a lot, and it has nothing to do with that. It's about Israel forcefully displacing Palestinians out of their own homes. That's what it's about, and it's nothing to do with religion, and that's what has to be centered, and that's what our government has to recognize more. I can tell you one story. My grandma is actually Jewish, and my entire family from my grandma's side was murdered during the Holocaust. And a lot of my grandma's friends, they moved to Israel right after the Second World War. But from day one, when they started moving there and started to inhabit the Palestinian land, supported by the British, of course, my grandma already said, like, this is so wrong. And from day one, she was like, yeah, what you are doing, it cannot be justified. Because who says that you have the right to go there? Of course, what happened to the Jewish population in the World War was horrible. It was disgusting. But the violence that was used and the suppression of all the people in Palestine that happened after that was something that also my grandma, who lost her entire family, could not justify. And I think that says a lot. And she also inspired me to just have this opinion. Yeah.
She continued living in Israel?
Netherlands.
She went back to the Netherlands.
She stayed here. She is from the Netherlands also, but a lot of her friends, because she had no family anymore, but a lot of her Jewish friends, they moved to Israel and they told her about how fantastic it was. But from day one, she was like, yeah, but
She didn't accept.
She didn't accept, no. And she really, yeah.
And it was clear for her like 60 years ago, 50 years.
Yeah.
People still until now say it's not clear and so on.
Exactly, but for her it was already clear back then, so how can it not be clear for people now?
Shout out to his grandmother.
Thank you.
And do you want to say anything to the people in Gaza? They might watch this video.
You are not alone, you are not forgotten. We feel for you, we cry for you every day, and we will do everything in our power.
Do you want to say anything to the people of Gaza? They will watch this video.
Maybe the Netherlands doesn't, like the government doesn't stand with you, but the people do, and there can be different opinions, but still we will keep fighting. I will keep fighting, no matter how long it takes, the effort it takes. We're there with you, and we wish we could do more, honestly. Yeah.
ايش اسمك؟
لارا سعيد.
من وين انتم؟
من اليمن. من اليمن.
والنعم، نوع من اليمن.
حضرموت. حضرموت.
والله والنعم، اهلا وسهلا. انتم خرجتوا اليوم المظاهرة؟
أيوة. نعم.
ليش خرجتوا اليوم المظاهرة؟
لأنه دم إخواننا قاعدين ينسال يموت.
وين اخواننا؟
في فلسطين في كل مكان.
في غزة ما شاء الله، شايف اسمك مكتوب هنا سعيد.
أيوة.
ما شاء الله. وهذه أول مرة تخرج مظاهرة عشان غزة ولا خرجتوا من قبل؟
خرجنا من قبل كثير. كثير.
يعني دائما تخرجوا.
أيوة.
مع مين؟ لوحدكم ولا مع مين؟
لا مع أمي الحمد لله.
مع الوالدة تخرجي يعني.
أيوة.
ما شاء الله. كيف شفت الأعداد اليوم؟
كثيرة ما شاء الله وكلهم هايجين.
صيحت أنت؟
عدي.
إيش تصيحوا؟ إيش تقولوا؟
لو بصيح بقول الله لا يوفق بإسرائيل.
لا بالمظاهرة إيش تصيح؟ إيش تقول مع الناس؟
فري فلسطين.
يلا بس بكل صوت يلا.
فري فلسطين.
خلي مرة ثانية يلا.
أنا؟
لارا يلا.
فري فلسطين.
مرة ثانية. فري
فري فلسطين.
يا ثانك يو، شكرا لارا وسعيد، ابطال ما شاء الله عليكم. اذا يا جماعه هكذا كان فيديو اليوم، وهكذا كانت الاجابات اللي حصلنا عليها، مختلف انواع الاجابات والاسباب لهذه المساله اللي طرحناها، اما قضيه الدين او الارتباط بامريكا او الخوف او عدم وجود الشجاعه، او الاهم هي المال وتجاره الحرب والاقتصاد. هذه نهاية المسيرة هنا في مدينة دنهاغ، وأنا حضرت مظاهرات كثيرة في هولندا من بداية الأحداث، لكن لم أرى حشود كهذه الحشود. أكثر من 100,000 شخص، وكثير منهم لأول مرة يحضر مظاهرة من أجل غزة. اليوم من مدينة لاهاي في هولندا أكثر من 100,000 شخص حضروا هذه المظاهرة وموجودين بأعداد كبيرة، وهذه نهايتها. وقفنا في هذا المكان حدود الساعة والأعداد تمر، الآن خلصت وهذه نهاية الأعداد، وكثير منهم أصلا لم يكمل المسيرة قد راحوا. فمن هذه النقطة ومن هذا المكان يا جماعة شكرا لكل واحد وصل لهذه النقطة. سووا لايك، اشتركوا في القناة اللي عدو ما اشترك، واحسان يتلو احسان حتى آخر لحظة في الحياة. السلام عليكم.